It's April and this is the Library Roadshow. On the show today, One Book, One Community, Grandma's House, and Poodle Skirts. Welcome to the April edition of the Library Roadshow. I'm Mary Stein, and this is a production of your East Baton Rouge Parish Library System. We celebrate several special literary themes in April: Poetry Month and National Library Week, though we think every week should be Library Week. Along those lines, a trend in recent years is to acknowledge that libraries aren't just repositories of print books, but rather serve as a library of things. So I'd like to call your attention to several new initiatives. You can basically check out an experience when you check out a family museum pass to visit the USS Kidd. Passes are available at any library location. Just turn them back into the library once you've taken your family to the museum. And to take things to the next level, circulating board games and Wi-Fi hotspots will be available very soon. Those are some pretty cool new things. The Career Center has revved back up with in-person programs to go along with the many helpful video shorts on their YouTube page. This month, Saturday Science goes deep into the microscopic world with quantum physics. The City Parish Open Data Academy has posted new short training videos to introduce local citizens to the many available data sets maintained in Open Data BR. Their goal is to provide data-driven solutions to comic civic challenges, and the library staff really appreciates the transparency and information available through this robust site. You can learn how to use it too. For a few other program highlights, we invite you to join us at the Pride Cheneyville Branch Library for their 12th Annual Community History Festival with the theme, At Grandma's House. It's worth the drive. We're hosting indoor music performances by the Civic Orchestra of Baton Rouge and the Dulcimers, plus the Baton Rouge Concert Band takes it outdoors at the main library at Goodwood. Also outside, the City Nature Challenge and the return of the Red Stick Farmers Market to the main library. Claire Babineau-Fontenot, CEO of Feeding America, is April's speaker in the Virtual Business Forum, and we're keeping it green for Earth Day with programs for kids, plus workshops with the Master Gardeners, as well as our regular Garden Discovery series with the Baton Rouge Botanic Gardens Foundation. This month, to go along with our One Book, One Community theme, they're doing a special program for kids called It's for the Birds. They're also celebrating the 200th birthday of the father of landscape architecture, Frederick Law Olmsted. Plus a slew of programs in our One Book, One Community series. More about that later. All programs are free, and all of the dates and times are mentioned in this month's edition of The Source, plus in the online calendar. Check it out.
Free access to books, audio, and library resources are just a few of the benefits available to you when you get a library card. Need free access to a computer? You get that. Want free access to premium digital resources like Mango Languages and lynda.com? You get that. Need to book a meeting space? You get that. Heck, you can even check out a telescope or use a digital printer with your library card. If you live in East Baton Rouge Parish, pick up your free library card from your local branch library today. Premium access to everything the library system has to offer is waiting for you.
If I was ever stranded on a desert island, you can be sure that I'd like to have my printed copy of the World Book Encyclopedia with me. But since I'm still right here in civilization, I can let my fingers do the walking and go online. It's time to find out more in the digital download.
You may remember the World Book Encyclopedias, but World Book Online has evolved with the times. And as well as the quality informational content you expect, you now get so much more, all available with your library card. World Book is now a suite of modules. World Book Early Learning is centered on pre-K to 3rd grade. World Book Kids is for grades K through 5. There is a World eBook collection with always available online ebooks. There is even a module that focuses on learning through performing skits and plays. There are modules for beginning Spanish and French speakers. an Inventions and Discoveries module, and my favourite, the World Book Activity Corner. Throughout the modules, there is a focus on interactive learning, making it engaging and fun. There are tools for parents and teachers to help children learn, and lots of printables to take the learning offline. Visit World Book Online today on the Digital Library page at ebrpl.com.
Thanks, Andrew. World Book really upped its game when they made so much content interactive. I could spend hours there. Let's shift gears and check in with Jessica McDaniel reporting in from Beyond the Stacks.
We're here at the main library at Goodwood for the kickoff party, 16th annual One Book, One Community programming series. Let's check it out.
Welcome to your East Baton Rouge Parish Library and our fantastic One Book, One Community kickoff featuring the fabulous RJ and Creole Smooth.
My name is Tara Deering, and I am the Children's Services Coordinator for the East Baton Rouge Parish Library, and we're out here kicking off our 16th annual One Book, One Community celebration. Our book selection this year is Atchafalaya House book by Gwen Rowland.
With One Book, One Community, we select one book to celebrate and use its stories, themes, and settings as a focal point to explore the library's resources, bring the community together, and provide opportunities for everyone to get on the same page. This year, we're celebrating Atchafalaya Houseboat by Gwen Rowland, about her time living on the Atchafalaya swamps in the 1970s.
I think the story captivated people's imagination because the couple that is at the center of the story, they more or less ran away from home and lived on a boat. They lived a subsistence lifestyle. They grew their own food. They made their clothes. They had animals, and they did that all while floating around in one of the most unique environmental creations in the entire world, the Atchafalaya Swamp System.
Find out more about the One Book, One Community programming series and what you can find at your local branch at readonebook.org.
Our One Book, One Community series is really going well. People are enjoying the book and documentary as well as all of the wonderful programming planned throughout the parish. Gwen Rowland will join us in person on Saturday, April 23rd to talk about her experiences on the Atchafalaya Houseboat. And the next day, she'll talk about oral history and sharing stories. We also have many other programs scheduled for April. We'll go bird watching 101 with the Audubon Society, explore Louisiana State Parks, discover the roots of music on the Atchafalaya, screen the award-winning LPB documentary of Atchafalaya Houseboat, and spend time with the Louisiana Master Naturalists of Greater Baton Rouge. We'll also delve into the unique Creole language of Kurivini through a poetry workshop with Louisiana State Poet Laureate Jonathan Mayers. Visit readonebook.org for the complete lineup of events for all ages. Stay right there. After the break, Melissa Easton joins me for a chat right here on the Library Roadshow.
The East Baton Rouge Parish Library believes that free entertainment is good for us all. That's why we make ebooks and audiobooks available for free through the Libby app. Grant free access to unlimited streaming music and video through Freegal, Canopy, and IndieFlix. Get a library card. Get free entertainment at ebrpl.com/digital library.
You're watching the April edition of the Library Roadshow. Everything you need to know about your local library system. Melissa Easton serves as the library's archivist, which includes oversight on local history as well as genealogy. And for genealogists, there is no better day than the day that the U.S. Census releases a new data set. Okay, Melissa, what's about to drop?
Well, we're very excited. On April 1st, the 1950 census is going to be released.
50s,
1950s,
yeah.
yes.
All right.
I'm sorry. The censuses are released every 10 years, so
Okay.
this will be the first one released in 10 years, and we cannot wait.
So a lot has changed because in the old days, the census, there was paper census, then there was microfilm census, and now we have a new way of looking. What is contained in this 1950 census, and how will we get into it?
Well, there is a lot of information contained in every census that's been published. We, of course, have people's names, their household relationships, their ages, their occupations, even their level of education is included.
So the people reflected in these records are people alive today. I mean, I'm in there. I was alive in the 50s.
Yes.
So I'm going to be in there.
Yes, you will be.
From wherever I was at the time.
Right. Right.
So how do people actually get into it? How do they access it?
Well, initially it will be available on archives.gov.
Okay.
It will not be indexed. Ancestry.com, of course, is the juggernaut of all things genealogy, and it will take them about 4 months to index and release the census, so it will be searchable. Initially, it will not be searchable, but of course, if you know your enumeration district and other little tricks that we teach in our classes, you will be able to go and find your information.
Okay, so you mentioned classes. Obviously, the library teaches classes on how to use Ancestry.com, which is available in every single one of our libraries. But we have a number of other classes too, and I'm sure you've got something special lined up for the census.
Yes, we absolutely do. Of course, on April 30th, we're going to have our big census release party here at the main library at Goodwood. That will be from 11 to 2. We will have classic cars and games and food and drinks, and we will also be teaching a little census workshop to show you how to access that information.
So, not just fun and games, but a little work to do on the side for those people who are ready to dive in even before Ancestry gets their discovery module ready. So that's how the library is planning to welcome this new decade.
We're very excited.
All right. Well, I am looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of activity out on the plaza. I'm looking forward to diving into the census as we work on our own family trees. And now it's time to look for that poodle skirt. After the break, author Jen Auken, plus book reviews from one of our younger library patrons. All that and more coming up next on the Library Roadshow.
The East Baton Rouge Parish Library believes that staying informed is good for us all. That's why we provide free access to the New York Times and other national newspapers online. Permit free access to niche magazines and articles through PressReader. Get a library card. Get informed at ebrpl.com/newspapers.
Marie, you have prediabetes.
Prediabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
Welcome back to the April edition of the Library Roadshow. In March 2020, our state went into lockdown. Families across the region found themselves cooped up in their homes because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Jen Auken found inspiration in this moment and kick-started the Baton Rouge Porch Project. Jen has just published a book documenting her experience with the Porch Project, and she joins me by phone to discuss this new book. Jen, how did you get your start as an author?
My first self-published book was about the International Blues Challenge in Memphis, Tennessee in 2015, where I had been photographing this particular music event for the past, I think, 13 years maybe. It took about 9 months, but I released a book about the event, and what I did was asked people who was in my book and people that were a part of the International Blues Challenge, from volunteers to musicians to judges and to the Blues Foundation organization, people that were organizing the event, to submit stories and experiences, and and then pairing them with my photographs over the years and creating, a almost 200-page book, memoir, about the International Blues Challenge. And so this collaboration style between publishing my photographs with other people's stories and experiences was a really good way to talk about and to express what the event was all about.
What is Shut the Front Door about?
I was really inspired by the way the people showed up for the project. In the first week, I had over 1,000 inquiries for people wanting their porch project pictures taken. We had so many inquiries, both photographers wanting to be a part of the project, and then also participants wanting their pictures taken, that I was doing like up to almost 60 portraits a day, the way we had it organized and laid out, and giving that formula to other photographers. We ended up, as a collection of photographers in the South Louisiana area, almost 4,000 portraits were captured by myself and a variety of photographers. This book is only about my photographs, but the total impact of everybody creating and being a part of this Front Porch Project, we estimated $1.28 million back into the local economies that the photographers were doing this project in. And so I would love for the readers to really understand the impact of the Pay It Forward mission and the efforts that both our communities showed up for our local businesses, and then also the photographers that gave themselves selfishly.
What inspired you to create this book?
I created this book because I knew that it was a pretty amazing time in our life. I like to call the stay-at-home ordinance in 2020 with COVID-19 and the pandemic the most craptastic time of our lives, because it really forced the entire world to pretty much stop. It was just a really interesting dynamic, and Shut the Front Door documents and preserves the various ways that people moved through the pandemic and moved through the stay-at-home ordinance in 2020. There's a really lot of good stories in there, and my own personal experiences being one of the lead photographers in the Front Porch Project, and allowing a story to be told on much more different levels than what we were always seeing in media and things like that.
How can our viewers learn more about you?
So if people are interested in purchasing the book, Jen with 2 N's, Okken, OCKEN.com is the website that they can buy the book at, or they can contact me at my office at 225-590-3731. And then also they can buy the book at several local businesses in Baton Rouge. This book isn't sold in Barnes & Noble. It's not distributed on Amazon or anything like that. I wanted to keep everything very local.
Thanks, Jen. We all really enjoyed your work. You can pick up a copy of Shut the Front Door at your local East Baton Rouge Parish Library branch. It's now time to check in with one of our younger patrons and find out what they've been reading at the library.
My name is Courtney Kane Scott. I'm in 11th. My name is Courtney Kane Scott. I'm I am 11 years old. I'm in 5th grade, and my favorite book is Black Holes. What is a black hole? First things first, did you know that black holes are made of wrapped space and wrapped time? They have mass, but no matter. Their gravitational pull is so great that nothing, not even light, can escape their grasp. I like black hole because they like so interesting. And then I read a book once how they not is a hole. There is not a hole. And then they could send you, and then they have a 1% chance of them sending you to another universe. When I come to the library, I like to read about the weather, black holes definitely, and like how tornadoes and hurricanes work. Who the strongest.
Thanks, Courtney K. Stay right there. You're watching the April edition of the Library Roadshow.
The East Baton Rouge Parish Library System believes that knowing where you come from is good for us all. That's why we grant free access to genealogy resources available through Ancestry.com. Make the vast historic resources of Heritage Quest available to you online. Get a library card. Get your family tree at ebrpl.com/genealogy.
My name is John Ricca. I'm a library tech assigned to the genealogy department under Special Collections at the East Baton Rouge Parish Library. And today I'm going to be teaching a class in writing your life story, leaving a legacy. That's something we really ought to all be doing because we need to pass that on to generations to come. The way I started with this book is my grandson asked me, "Where did you go to high school, Grandpa?" I said, "Rusty, you don't know where I went to high school?" He said, "No." So I said, "Well, I got to get down and start writing some of this stuff down." So that's how this project got started. It was really inexpensive. The whole thing was inexpensive to produce. And by Christmas, I was able to give every member of my family a copy of the book. Everybody's got a life. Everybody's got lots of events that happened in their life. By the time you get to my age, there's a whole lot of events. And you want to share that with generations coming up. Well, we advertise the program under the library website. And we give the patrons an opportunity to register for the class, either in person or virtual. We teach them, we start off with basic genealogy, where to start on the library site, where do you look under? Because a lot of this, the patron can do by themselves at home, if they're trained a little bit. And that's what we try to do. We don't try to do all of their ancestry. We try to teach them to do their own ancestry, and we give them a head start. So these classes are beneficial in that regard. It starts with basic genealogy and, ends up with writing your life story. So,
thanks, John. Local authors are hungry for this kind of information, and the library has so many tools available to help them. Now that there will be fresh information to draw from with the release of the 1950 census, I suspect that your phone will be ringing. You're watching the April edition of the Library Roadshow, a production of your East Baton Rouge Parish Library System. Earlier this spring, Children's Services Coordinator Tara Deering chatted with me about several new library initiatives geared towards early literacy, including the Home Library Pilot Project. This project is really going well. Let's take a look.
It's an armadillo, you're right.
My name is Pabby Arnold. Today we're at Winborn Elementary to give away the February books for our program Home Bookshelf. We found out a number of years ago that many of our kids, especially in the inner city, do not have books at home to read. And a lot of it is economics. So we have been working for a number of years to try to get this program up. And what we're doing, first I go in and I read a book to them and talk to them a little bit about the program. Then we let them go up at about 5 or 6 at a time to choose their books. While they're doing that, I ask them if they liked the book that they got the last time or disliked it, but they have to tell me why. We want some critical thinking here. And we've had some great answers. One little boy said, I really liked my book, but I did not like the artwork. And that worked good. He had a reason. He knew he didn't like it, but he did like the book. He didn't let the artwork stand in the way of enjoying the book.
Whenever a child gets a book in their hand and they can feel it and just actually be a part of the story, and I think it gives them a chance to have an adventure, you know, with the reading, and that excitement hopefully will not only help them in the reading with that book, but with school in general, because they have an opportunity to have that piece of literature that they can look forward to reading at home, but then I know next month I'm going to get another book, and so I can read even more.
Parents Magazine is providing the books in a form like this, and in it we have a note for the parents, and we have a newspaper that's full of games and things for them, and reading things and all. It has these kind of things with it. So they've got that along with it too, and they get to choose their book. We have about 8 different selections each time we come, once a month, and they choose a book. We want them to have a book that they want to read, not you have to read this.
Well, I think it's important that every child can read, because reading is a part of every subject in the curriculum. And of course, if you take those skills that you're using to enjoy the literature, then you can apply it in other areas.
It's gone wonderfully. Both the kids are looking forward to us coming each month. By the time we end this in May, each child will have 5 books that are home books, their books.
Having a book at home that you really like to read and that you want to read will hopefully improve your skills across the board with the curriculum. And so we're excited that they're going to have a chance to do just that, to have books at home that they can access to read for fun.
We're so grateful for all the people who are helping us to deliver this program. KidScoop News, the Baton Rouge Alliance for Students, the Imagination Leads Foundation, the faculty and staff of these 5 schools, and our own patrons of the Public Library Friends Group. What we're hearing back from teachers and school librarians makes us even more determined to carry this project forward. And now for today's contest, visit the library's Facebook page at facebook.com/EBRPL. I'm still interested in backyard birds to go along with our One Book, One Community theme, so get posting. That's facebook.com/EBRPL. And while you're there, enjoy. We're not your grandfather's library anymore. What's coming up on the Library Roadshow in May? We'll be winding down the school year and gearing up for summer reading.
Tune in next month and we'll share another free resource available in the digital library.
Next month, you'll learn about another service offered at your local branch library.
Thanks so much for joining us on the Library Roadshow. And remember, your East Baton Rouge Parish Library is open 7 days a week at each and every one of 14 branches, plus 24/7 on the web. Check us out at ebrpl.com.